Hey, what's up everybody? I just wanted to make a short video. I'm doing this install of the Mugen visors on my 2020 Civic hatchback, and I just wanted to point out a few things to help you guys along if you're doing the same install. Before I did this, I did a lot of reading, did a lot of YouTube video watching, and saw the different ways that other people did it. And I also referred to the instructions that came with the visors from Mugen. And what I noticed is that the Mugen instructions are a lot different than the way everyone else does it. I already have, as you can see, the visor installed on the front passenger side door, but let's just pretend that's not there for now. What Mugen has you do is they'll have you remove the rubber trim first, and you don't have to remove the whole thing, just enough to clear the pins here and here. So that's pretty much all of the rubber trim that you need to pull down. And then what they have you do is they want you to put the pins with the plastic clip behind it onto the visors first. And the way I see everybody else do it is they clip it onto the rubber trim, and then they put the visors on, and then they pin it all together. But Mugen has you put the pins and the clips onto the visors first before you even put it onto the car. So that's the way I did it, and it kind of makes sense once you get into it. So then, you know, you peel off the adhesive backing just the way you're supposed to. You know, you pull it down halfway so that, you know, there's like a little tab here that you can pull off. Do the same thing at the top, you pull off all the way. The one thing that the Mugen instructions state is that you're supposed to have a 3mm space from the edge of the door to the edge of the visors, and also same at the top. From here to here, there's supposed to be a 3mm space. But what I found is I don't really think that's the proper way, because there's a body line here on the visor, and I think that's supposed to match up with this line on the door trim. You see how this door, there's a line here, and I think it's supposed to follow the visor all the way across. And then the same thing here, where you get to, you know, close to the side mirrors, there's the line here that's supposed to match up with the line on the side mirror. And I think that's really the proper way to do it. Now, if you do it this way, it means that this space here to here is bigger than 3mm. And so, but that's the way I did it, because it seems to make sense. You want to match up all the lines so that they flow together and, you know, all the way across. So I'm going to put on the visors on the back, and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit, and we'll see if it looks funny having like a big gap over here. But I'll see you guys in a few. All right, so I'm back here again, and I've got this started. This is the back visor, and I got it started kind of part way, and you can see I've got the backing already pulled off, and you know, so I started from here with a little strip of it pulled out already, and then you just pull it out. And here's a tip: sometimes it gets stuck because it's too tight. If that happens, then what you want to do is kind of grab the visor and just kind of pull it out that direction, so to loosen it up a little bit, and then you should be able to just pull it out. So if you ever run into that issue, that's what you do. And I've already got the backing removed from this side, so now you just want to push down on it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heat gun and just kind of warm it up a little so that the adhesive sticks a little bit better. So let's see what that's like. If it's warm to the touch, you're good, and it is. So we're just gonna push down on it some more with a little pressure. And what I'm going to do is just kind of pull up my sleeve and kind of run it along the edge here. Because with the rubber gloves, it kind of, there's too much friction, and so I'm pushing down on it. Pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. And then same thing on this part. Now, I mentioned earlier about matching the lines, and so I did the same thing here. Match the lines all the way across here, and probably could have done this one a little bit closer this way, but it's fine. You don't really notice it, especially from far away. It's hard to tell, but it looks good. And when you match it up this way, it's gonna leave, you know, this much of a gap on top. And so naturally, to make it look aesthetically pleasing, you want to match that same gap on this side. So the gap up here is pretty much the same as the space here. And then what you end up with, if you do that, is it lines up with the back edge of the door perfectly. So I'm pretty sure that's the way you're supposed to do it. It makes sense to me. So sometimes, you know, I like doing exactly how the instructions state, but also I like to test fit things just to make sure. And that was the one thing I noticed right off the bat, was that if you do it the way Mugen tells you, this would sit higher and these lines wouldn't match with the door, and it wouldn't match with the lines going back this way. Oh, and one thing you want to check before you button everything up is you want to check along the top of the visor, which is what we're looking at here. This is a top view, and you just want to make sure that all the adhesive is stuck down. You can see the adhesive, whether or not it's making contact with the door. So those are things you want to look for. And if you see any part of the adhesive that's not sticking to the door, push down on it a little bit harder. The adhesive they use on these is super strong. It's, once you get it on and you put any kind of pressure on it, it's not going anywhere. And then for the trim, the rubber seals on the windows, what I do is I just kind of grip it and push it back up into place. It's hard to get a shot here because the lighting's not good underneath. So, but basically you just want to push it up with your fingers like this, and you can feel it. You can feel it go back into the channel. All right, so that's all there is to it. So now I just got to do the other side.